so that's a bit annoying. So I had to look at which cities have the most amount of barbers, and so it would be competitive. That's why that was the reason for that. Which cities had a lot of barbers and was competitive, and they want to stand out and get more clients, and then which barbers made the most amount of money, because those are the ones that have money. So there are some that make like 60 grand a year and some that make 16. So obviously I know which ones I'm going to go after. So I figured out which cities those were, and I'm going to target them first and go after them. So how am I going after them? Well, we're going after them in a couple ways. We are going to be doing an email blast. We are going to be doing a phone campaign, and then we want to follow up with a postcard, and then we want to follow up with a letter, and then maybe we would send them like a newsletter or our magazine. Yeah, because we want to warm them up, and we know that we're starting to fill the pipeline. Once the pipeline is filled, we'll have multiple conversions. And again, really right now I'm looking for, I would be really happy with 5 to 6 clients right now. I'd be really happy with that, because like I said, then we could just grow from there, hire more people, and just keep running the same campaign. I have a list of over 7,200 barbers that I can reach out to. So even, at very low conversion numbers on that, it's still really good. So parts of what I have to do, so I have to test the email service provider. Because there are things with, VPNs and IP addresses, and, how many emails you can deliver in a day, and, how frequently they can be. It's like a drip campaign. So I guess my goal would probably be to send anywhere from like 25 to 50 emails the first day. That way, you're not alerting any spam filters or whatever. I have to write the content. I don't know if it says that somewhere, but yeah, requires content. I have to write the content for the campaign. What do I want to say? But in order to do that, first we have to figure out, let me get the right pen color here. What's the overall goal? Okay. Where are you? Goal. That's the question we have to ask ourselves. What's the overall goal? The overall goal is to get social media sales. So is that what we want to go in? Like, is that what a small business person wants to hear when they have all these other concerns and COVID and safety and sanitary and all the extra money? And that's why it's important to get into the minds of the consumer, because I can craft content around that. It's like, hey, you know what? Is all the sanitation and the gloves and the masks, all the extra costs that you are expending to meet COVID requirements, is that impacting your bottom line? And how are you going to make up that deficit? Have you thought about getting more clients through social media? Boom. I'm not going to be like, hey, do you want to spend $650 a month on social media? They're not interested in that. You have to know what their problems are, and you have to solve their problems. So if I want to send them an email, then what's the email going to say? Well, I don't know what the email is going to say. What the email says is going to be dependent on what goal I have. So the goal is to convert them. So I just gave you an example right there. You should ask yourselves what problems, so the goal, can you see what I'm doing here? What problems do they have? So we got to list the problems. List the problems. What are the problems that the small business, these barbers are having now? Like I said, more competition, more competition, more like higher operation costs, right? So in the email, I would say something like that, like, do you want to reduce your operation costs? The answer is going to be yes. The first thing I got to do is get them to open the email. So coming up with things like email subject lines, split testing those, figuring out what their problems, making sure that you don't have spam. So you can't have no spam words. So you have to do a spam test, right? So I've got to get somebody to do that. So I've got to write the content. And then we got to make sure there's no spam and go to the spam test. We have to figure out what their problems are. We have to list their problems, put that in the subject line. We have to split test. But that's not such a big deal. It's not a big deal. I don't really need to write that down. Yeah, okay, so once I do that, okay, so now what? Okay, so I send them the email, and then what are they going to do? We want them to take an action, right? We also want to provide some benefits. So that, like, if they don't want to take advantage of that, we can ask them for a referral. We can give them a gift certificate for something else. We can say, well, hey, you may not be interested in this, but you may be interested in one of our other services or products. Here are some other things that we offer. We want to follow up with them 12 times. So we want to invite them Oh, fuck. Hold on. Oh, Lord. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. We want to follow up with them 12 times because we know that because I've been in sales for a long time, to close a sale, you need to follow up with them, 10 to 12 times. So you don't want to just do it the same way, the same way, the same way. So one of the ways we can do that is we can enroll them in a free series. Right? We can say, you know what? We know that barbers are having a really tough time, so we're gonna enroll you in a 12-day series, and at the end of it, you can get something for free. Yeah, that's right. Hold on. At the end of it, they can get something for free. Of what value? Right? Of like $1,500 value. Yeah, we can give them a whole bunch of social media banners. Maybe that's what we can offer them. Right? But you have to do something. You have to click on something every day. So we're going to be able to see which barbers are the most engaged and which ones we're going to be able to close the easiest. So this is the level of analytics and automation that I talk about when I talk about the HMN, the hierarchy of marketing needs, right? I'm moving towards automation. Anyway, we want to contact them 10 to 12 times because we know that that's how long it takes for a sale to convert. But you don't want to just send emails that are boring. So that's what I'm saying. If you get them in a series, and for us, we're going to be like, we're going to enroll you in a 12-part series on how to grow your business organically free online for the next 12 days. At the end of it, you're going to get this free value. We don't want you to opt in this if you want to. So if you want to, click here. If you want to, click no. So that helps me with the designing the wireframe, because now I can design 2 buttons. I let them choose. If they say no, then they're out. I can put them in a certain email segment, right? People that weren't interested, and I can tag them using Infusionsoft. And also program things to follow up after a certain amount of days. It is so much work. So I have to do the wireframe. I have to pick the image. I have to see what it's going to say. And then I have to have the graphic design, because when I send the email, I just don't want it to be a plain email. I want it to have a graphic design. Which banner am I going to use? What's it going to say? Right? I also want to have a video. So again, because video is very engaging, as well as I want to have audio. So not just video, but I want to also have audio. So if they just want to listen to it, they can. But it's like, hey guys, I want to have a video that's going to explain what this is, but I think I'm going to give a teaser to say, look out for an email in the next 2 days that's going to tell you whatever, so I can figure out what that video is going to be. And then I decided to start this email off. I'm going to say something like, see how local barbershop is kicking. Yeah, local, because they're going to think it's local competition, right? Local to them. See how local barbershop is kicking a money sign. I have to see if that's going to go through the spam filters though. See how this barbershop is kicking ass during COVID, using 12 free organic tools, but that's not true, because I'm selling Mapdim's social media, right? So it's going to be like, local barbershop kicks ass during COVID because of argument. I want to do something like, see how disagreement leads to local barbershop kicking ass. Something like that. Because, and I'm going to start it off like, yeah, Tino was saying that he really wants to inspire and motivate his guys and get more people in his chairs because he wants to get them more business. Operations have gone up, and he knows that he needs to get better at his social media, but he doesn't have the time or the money. So you know what? He's just going to have to do it himself. And I was like, there's no way that I can let that happen, because you're never going to do a job that matters. You're never going to do as good a job as I'm going to do. You're never going to be able to grow your social media following the way that I'm going to do it. You're just going to be doing it for the sake of doing it, just going through the motions and basically wasting time. And I can't see that happen to you, because I really care. So we decided to offer something called the Tino Special. So you can take advantage of the Tino Special right now. It's normally $850. Now it's only going to be $650, where we will do your social media. And then I got to list out all the things that we're going to do. So they're not going to get the free images until they sign up at the end, because that's when we do them. It's going to be $1,500 worth of banners. So, 12 times series free, blah, blah, spam contact benefit, da, 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 12 times series. Oh, let me circle back to this for a second. So, the 12 times series, so you're not going to want to contact them the same way. Yes, I'm going to enroll them in this 12-day series, but I also want to contact them those 4 different ways 3 times, right? So remember I said email, phone call, which reminds me I have to test Twilio. So every time it's called market intelligence, every time somebody clicks on a link in their email, I'll get an email saying this business opened them, call them now, right? Because they're hot. So then I asked myself, well, who do I want to who's going to take the calls? Is it going to be me? Am I going to hire reps? If I hire reps, then I have to give them the script. So I have to get that together in terms of creating content. Who's going to take the calls? What time? If I'm taking them, and I like to really lead from the front and be Braveheart. So I want to like go through the motions, see what my guys are going to be up against, see what obstacles and objections they're going to encounter, so that I can help diffuse that for them in a FAQ, frequently asked questions, ahead of time, right? I have to determine the action to call. So like I said, if they click on a link, I can get an email just saying, hey, someone opened your email. And I think that those people I might do as a secondary follow-up, but unfortunately it'll only let me test one at a time, but whatever. Anyway, so in addition to the 12-part series, I can be like, okay, we're going to contact them by email, let's say 3 times, and we're going to call them 3 times, and then we're going to send them 3 postcards or 3 things in the mail, and then something else, right? So, or maybe reach out to them in those 3 different, and then there's leave a voice message. We can leave a voice message. So you can leave a voice message, you can call and you can talk to them live, you can leave an email, you can send a postcard and a letter. 5. So that's 5 different ways to reach out to them: email, postcard, phone call, message, letter. And if you send them 3, right, that means you keep engaging with them, solving their problem, offering them value. They're more likely to buy. And then when you throw in there a little bit of scarcity and a sense of urgency, then you've got all the makings for like a perfect formula. So I want to leave audio, I want to leave a video, I'm going to leave Tino's testimonial, I'm going to leave a picture of Tino, I'm going to do screenshots of the campaign, screenshots of the analytics, gonna guess from him how many more like conversions, how many more followers he got, how many more conversions it led to, how much more money it leads out to. And again, when you work it out at the end of the year, because that's how long our contracts are, you're gonna come out ahead. And then after that, you're just your family after that, and then you can get all these different marketing benefits at like significantly reduced costs. So anyway, that I think is the plan. That's the plan. So I've got to come up with their problems, list their go up with goal, come up with the content design, do the wireframe for the website, get somebody to do the landing page. I don't think that's on here. Yeah. Well, yeah, someone's got to create the barbershop landing page, so when they get the email, they have something to click on. And then, so yeah, how are we going to do this? How are we attracting barbers? The first way we're going to do is we're going to be reaching out to them through the email marketing campaign. And within that campaign also includes the calling campaign and the letters. It's all a part of the same campaign. And then what do? You follow the 10 commandments of marketing and you move to Instagram ads, and we start to dabble a little bit with once we have the process and the system and the script and the reps and the overcoming objections and the FAQs, like once we're tight and we're ready, then we can move to Instagram ads. We can see which landing page works. We can do split testing with the landing page. And we can move to Instagram ads, which aren't that expensive. You don't get banned as much as you do with Facebook. That's another thing that we probably have to do ahead of time, is figure out why are all the reasons that Facebook and Instagram are banning and closing down accounts, right? Imagine putting all this time and effort and money into a fucking campaign, and then one of these social media outlets blocks you, stops you, whatever. That's really harsh. So we also need someone to do some Facebook and Instagram paid ads research on efficacy in advance. And then, like I said, once I get officers in charge, I want to go back to, studying and reading, and like what I was doing back in 2016, 2017, when I was learning what was working, and I want to do CEO stuff.